Hi, I'm Jason Hager. I'm a freelance barista trainer and coffee consultant in Dallas, Texas. My website is espressotrainer.com. We're doing a series of videos about different topics that have come up over my years as a consultant and trainer. And today what we're going to be talking about is one that has come up a lot from a lot of coffee house owners, people who are buying coffee houses, and other people who just want to take their businesses to the next level. And that is, should we hire based on previous experience or not? It's a complicated kind of a topic. Step one, I would say, is to take coffee experience completely out of the equation. A lot of times people will hire baristas because they have previous coffee experience. This is not inherently a bad thing, but what I have seen happen is a barista with bad habits hired because the owner wanted them to train the rest of the staff. And the result of that has been an entire staff who has developed bad habits. Bad habits are not easy to train out of. They're really difficult to drop. And it's really easy, honestly, to start with somebody with no experience and train good habits into them than it is to try to work out bad habits. So take this into consideration, and let's just throw out the coffee experience part of the equation when considering who we're going to hire. Step two, there are some other kinds of experience that are not coffee, but are kind of related to the industry that you're in. Bartending is a great one. For one thing, you have the person-to-person customer interaction. This is a great skill to have. You see this every day in any cafe you go to. Whether the customer is ordering, whether it's the barista serving the drink out, it's just a good kind of experience to have, that they're comfortable talking in that kind of a setting. Also money handling. Although the context is very different for handling money, it's still kind of important. You have a lot of small transactions over a period of time. Another one is waiting, like being a waiter or a waitress in a restaurant. This is critical about service, really. We're in the service industry. Now, it's not a restaurant, and it's very different. However, you get some skills like taking care of people, finding out what their needs and wants are, and meeting them. This is not only good for that one transaction, but it's really good for your business. It's really good for the long term as well, because service is one thing that people will always go back for. Over quality of the product, almost every time. If the product is brilliant and the service is bad, they won't go back. If the product is bad but the service is good, people will probably go back. What we really want to shoot for is the upper echelon of both of those two aspects of service. Another one that we really want to consider is step three. This is personality. There are some things that can be taught. How to make coffee is definitely one of them. Personality is not. And even if you feel like you can, let me tell you right now, it's not worth the cost, time or money, for you to try to train the personality out of or into them. You can't teach them how to be nice to other people. You can't teach them to want to go to work. So these are things that you really want to look for. Personality is a big one. Step four, passion. This one to me is probably one of the biggest factors you can look for in somebody you're about to hire. Whether it's passion for quality, whether it's passion for service, whether it's passion for a job well done, whether it's passion for coffee. Any of these can be used and utilized by your business to try to make everything better. So you have the one barista, maybe their pet peeve is organization. They're passionate about organization and they like coffee too. This is perfect. So now you put them in charge of things that need to be organized, right? So you don't have to do it all yourself necessarily. It's good to delegate certain tasks to somebody whose strengths are in those tasks. It kind of frees you up, and it kind of gives them a good sense of ego as well. It lets them know that you appreciate what they do. If their passion is coffee, maybe let them run with it. You know, don't try to say, no, you have to do it our way all the time. While you do have those kind of constraints in place, allow them to experiment when it's not on a customer. What you'll find is they can run ideas by you, and you'll find that your overall quality of products will improve over time. This is absolutely priceless, because what you're selling ultimately is coffee. It may come for whatever reason, but you're selling coffee, right? So take their passions and use them. Feed them. Let them fill their roles that they want to be in, assuming it's something that is salient to your business. Now this is the biggest one, as I said, however, it's assuming that there's nothing else that negates it. So if there's another fundamental problem with one of their traits, don't hire just based on passion alone. Step five, and this is the last and what I would consider to be the most important trait of a potential hire, is reliability. Do ask for references in your application or resume, and do follow up with the references. I say this only because People can be very good at interviews. They can be very good at resumes. However, what they do on the job is really what's important, what's going to be happening whenever they're behind the bar in your shop. So talk to them. The two things I look for the most part: honesty and reliability. Whether or not they agreed with their previous employer is less important than knowing that they were honest and that they were reliably present. They can be the best barista in the world, but if they never show up to work, they're absolutely useless to you. So this should be a big one. If they are reliably there and they are teachable, you've got a winner, usually most of the time. It doesn't necessarily mean they're the best candidate all the time, but it does mean they're probably going to be a good candidate. So that's kind of what I want to wrap it up with. So the question we started out with, is it good to hire based on coffee experience or not? I would say it depends. It's not to run out coffee experience entirely. If you know where they come from, I would ask specific questions. Ask about dosing parameters for espresso. Ask about standard brew ratios for brewing. Ask about milk frothing. Ask about drink recipes that are industry standards. Just ask things that only somebody who knows what they're doing would know. Don't be too specific, because your ways are not necessarily the same ways as everybody else. But it doesn't mean that they're not good either. And assuming that they're okay with the way you do things, and they have good previous experience and they do things the right way, they could be a wonderful asset to your business. However, don't make it the only thing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. My name once again is Jason Hager, and we'll see you the next time.